Yes, good morning. Good morning, good morning. Yes. Today is Tuesday, November 1st, and there's been some tragic news as we all are starting to realize and know. Takeoff from the Migos has passed away. I just want to say my condolences to the brother, to his friends, his family. Okay, my heart goes out. Uh, and this is a very unfortunate situation here. You know, RIP to that brother. But here we go again. Here we go again. Here we go again. You guys already know. As we go into 2023, right now there are so many things that our community is being faced with. Okay? As we are debating about Kanye and his supposed disregard for black people, and those who know and understand and are arguing on behalf of Kanye, gas prices, all of this war, food prices going up, inflation is just crazy. Okay? We've got people becoming billionaires in times like this, ironically. Okay? We've got people losing, as Kanye has, their fortune. Someone with the ability to change things for the better. You know, I don't want to go on a tangent about those political things. I want to speak on what has transpired as of last night, this morning. Takeoff, shot and killed. The story, as it's being told, is my man passed away from a dice game, rolling dice. And he seemed to be losing that dice game, allegedly, and he didn't like it. He didn't like that he was losing, which made him, express it. The guys that he was rolling dice with did not care about his status. They did not care about who he was or where he was from. They just was not going to stand for him being upset at the dice game, allegedly. This in turn caused one of Takeoff's people to pull out their weapon, and then he actually let off shots. Okay, and it's alleged that he accidentally hit Takeoff. While those shots were going off, the other side pull out their weapon and allegedly hit Takeoff again. These people have guns. I'm not advocating for taking away the guns. I'm advocating for taking away the emotion that men are displaying. I understand with regard to the ladies speaking on men being emotionally unintelligent. I do understand their points of view. Okay? The women are intuitive. They feel. This does not excuse the wild behavior filled with anger and emotion. Okay? Adults handle their emotion. Men and women. Adults handle their emotions. Children can't control their emotions. They haven't been trained in handling their emotions. So children outburst. They They lash out. This is what children do. This is why everybody's running around here being a little something, or a young this, or young that, a little this, little that. Everybody start their name or end it off with, some young prefix, or start it with a young little prefix in their rap names now. Rap is getting out of hand with their involvement in crime. This leads into the perpetuation that Kanye is referring to. The perpetual representation of the streets in our music unnecessarily. It's one thing to tell a story, but it's another to glorify it. Now, with respect to Takeoff, and people like them, I appreciate the notion to want to be regular. The idea that your money means nothing and you're just a regular person amongst regular people. But once your status changes financially, you must be cautious every step of the way. Again, I do appreciate that they can feel like normal people and come around guys and interact and just be normal. But you have to be mindful and careful. We know that you can't just go back to the hood and just be, out there like that. You didn't put yourself out there like that. You put yourself as above the rest. And then you come back to the hood and try to be normal. They remember you being above the rest, so they treat you like you're above the rest. And in these days and times, money is important. So they can see you as a come up. Whether they're trying to rob you, take your stuff and, or kill you and take your shit. You're a come up. Now, I'm not saying that this is the case here. Because allegedly, as I've said, it was Takeoff and his, peace be upon him, it was his lack of emotional control at a dice game. You can't get mad when you're losing, bro. You give us this idea that money is nothing. It comes to diamond. It's nothing for you. That's the idea we got. So why would you be upset that you're losing a dice game? And then you've got someone out on your side who's trying to prove himself to you. He's trying to prove himself. That's why he pulled that weapon. But he had no control. Whether it was emotional, whether he knew how to shoot, he had no control of the gun and his emotion. Or his emotion, I should say. He had no control. And it's alleged that he hit his own partner. Men not being able to control their emotion resulting in tragedy. We've seen this too many times. I'm from New York, Far Rockaway, Queens, Edgemere, 5409, Southside Jamaica, Queens, 135, Liberty Ave, okay? I'm from Queens, Queensbridge, Left Rack, Queens. I may not be very well known. Why? Because I learned from an early age about your emotion in the street. I've seen people with guns that are emotional. I've seen that. I've witnessed it. I've seen people come back to the hood. And like I said, I appreciate the feeling, the sentiment of coming back to the hood, a famous person coming to the neighborhood to show love, that he doesn't feel above us. He doesn't feel like that. He wants to come and show some love to the neighborhood, and that's what it is. And they do that. And then we've got somebody who can't control their emotions come and hate on a person, wants to rob them, okay? Because they're emotional. That's an emotional decision to try to kill somebody based on their status. It's not a strategic come up. What are you gonna get for whatever you get off of them right then and there? What are you gonna get for that? How long will that last you? It's not like you're gonna take that come up and go invest it in something tangible. Yeah, you might go get some drugs and try to flip that, or feed somebody for the time being in your household, but it's not gonna last long. What's the point? Why not go up to the rich, famous person that decided to come back to the neighborhood with a plan? Come to them with a plan of to get rich or something. And if he turns you down, don't get emotional. Go ahead and put it into action. Okay? That's too out of the way with thinking, though. That's too out of the way with thinking like a man. Holding ourselves accountable. Okay? Feeling entitled to someone else's wealth. As I said, my condolences to Takeoff and his family. His friends, family, everybody. You know? People in my city, in my borough, they know what I'm talking. We lost a few good soldiers there. Everyone has lost a few good soldiers in the community, in the neighborhood, in the black community as well. To gun violence. Everyone putting on the facade that they have more money than the next man and to that nature. And somebody wants to come and take it. But in this case, this was a dice game with someone who was supposed to be a multi-millionaire. I know you didn't play the whole million in the dice game. Come on, man. It's not like you're broke. You can't be broke. They're not advising you on making investments, really, in the rap game. You can't really make investments. They're controlling how you spend your money and where you spend it. Everything you do is coming out of your pocket. They're robbing the artists. This goes into Kanye's rant. They're robbing the artists, as well as telling you what to rap about. Okay? They're not giving conscious rappers money to uplift us. They already knew they didn't want to do that. They needed to perpetuate the culture that we have going on right now. The murder, murder, kill, kill. Everyone needs to have a gun to be gangster. And then you've got kids, men with childlike mentalities holding guns. Lack of emotional control and holding guns. Unfortunately, this is the result of that. Tragedy. This kind of tragedy. My condolences you know. But this has gotten me a little upset to even speak on because, and look, that's not a lack of emotional control. This is an empathizing. This is what we call empathizing, putting myself in their shoes of losing someone. The sudden loss. I felt sudden loss before. I don't like that feeling. And we can't control other people. So what I'm saying here today is, with all of this stuff that is going on in the media, you know, the political, you know, game that is being played on us, the issues of inflation plaguing us currently, what I realize, it's only plaguing poor people for the most part. It's only plaguing us for the most part until resources are halted, because that's the threat currently, okay? On the political front, you know, there are things that are being threatened that we may not have, and we may need to really stand together. I hope this Kanye situation is doing that, because a lot of us agree with Kanye. A lot of us don't agree with Kanye. But the fact that we're having a discussion, it's waking a lot of us up to a lot of things in the world that they didn't realize or didn't know. But I hope for the most part, these conversations are bringing us together. We're losing too many people too soon, before their time. You know, and as a grown man, I feel it's imperative for me to start speaking on these things, because I have a platform that I can do that on. If the children don't see us speaking about this intelligently, having intelligent discourse, then, you know, it's going to seemingly feel like it's up to them to make certain decisions. I'm a rapper, MC, artist, graphic designer, producer. I do all of it. Okay? I know why I haven't been put on. But what I had to do is make the investment to make my voice heard anyway. We know what Kanye was saying in regards to the music labels, to people who control the entertainment industry. We know what he was saying, man. A lot of us want to throw everybody else into it. He wasn't talking about all of them. He was talking about those that control entertainment. Everything as far as entertainment and the compromising positions that we've been put in when it comes to that music stuff or that entertainment. The demise of our community through the perpetual, repetitious tactics put on the radio. The people they put on the radio for us, that's supposed to identify with us. We know what he was saying. Creating a culture where men do not control their emotions, where we fear each other, where we fear looking in each other's direction because something can happen. This is a culture perpetuated through the frequencies of all of our music, the things that we watch, okay? We're idolizing people who disregard life for money, whether it's in the stock market, whether it's in politics, whether it's in actual war. These people disregard life, liberty, well-being. They disregard this for money. It's people with money that disregard their own health. But nonetheless, this is what we are perpetuating. A culture that disregards life. And it's all about the money. I'm too old to act as if I don't know. To turn a blind eye, to not say anything about these things. I'm too old to not say anything. I can't stand by anymore. So I have to say something. You know? I may have friends that even look at me like, yo, what is you doing? Who is you? You've never... This is me. This is the guy you never knew. If you didn't know. This is the guy you never knew. Talking on a topic that I need to talk about, that you should be talking about, that you should be making plans to also fix. How are you going to do it? Because this is my platform. I'm going to do it this way. What are you going to do? So, again, my condolences to Takeoff. My condolences to that family. You know what I'm saying? We know about the haters. We call them haters because they're not controlling their emotions. They're not doing what they need to do for themselves. They're not looking inside themselves, or maybe they are. And they hate what they see. Someone has to help them heal. Someone has to help the hater look at himself and say, this taking out another person for a supposed come up, it's not it, G. You're not God for that. You are God, but you're acting other than God. A hater is a devil. Everybody want to represent this demon time. Till a real demon comes and takes out your whole camp. That's the real shit. Then when you get older, you start feeling like, what was it all for? If you're stupid, you don't care. If you're stupid and old, you're still telling the kids to do shit. This is facts, man. Let's not play stupid, man. I'm not trying to disrespect anyone in my community, though. You know why? Because, like I said, these people are not healed. They are hurting. So they become haters of other people who have succeeded or surpassed them. They're hurting. Instead of us approaching this so-called hater movement, because I never even understood why you calling somebody a hater, knowing that it's only coming from the poverty side of them. I'm not talking about anybody else. I'm talking about my community. I'm not talking about these financial people who are cutting each other's throat. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about my community. Because we started that term hater, okay? We coined it. And it's only because someone is doing better than the other one. They taught us how not to be a community. Everyone is individuals in our community. The next one person comes up, he's not bringing people with him. Kanye has also said that in our community. This is what happens. So we got to examine these things. Calling people haters for nothing. Nobody knows you and everybody's a hater. When I say hater, I mean directly around me. Because I know there's haters there. But why are they haters? Why are they hating? Because they choose one at a time with us. And then when they choose us, we don't exactly bring everybody along. Creating haters. It's only because of poverty, though. Poverty is creating haters. The so-called crabs in a barrel. This is what being a hater does also. Produces tragedy. Nothing good. Wants to take away from someone else's success. The hater. But we got to examine the hater. We got to turn the people who are haters into someone who loves his people, regardless. And also having the strength and emotional intelligence to control their emotions and build for self. That's where finding the tools to help a person build themselves comes in. And that's education, that's knowledge. Doesn't have to be formal education, as they say, a college degree or anything like that. It doesn't have to be formal education, but it's education of the world, education of self, education of the health of your body and your mind. Okay? But this lack of information, this lack of knowledge creates haters. And it starts from the youth. It starts from youth. Suffering in poverty creates this hater mentality. Starts in middle school, you're getting jumped by a hater who's getting beat at home, who doesn't have anything. They get dragged into that system of getting in trouble now. Especially today. No one can say anything to the child without getting arrested, reprimanded, what have you. No one can say anything to the child. Their own parents can't say anything, can barely say anything to the child. And if that child acts out of pocket, he's being taken away from his mother or father. His parents, he's being taken out of the home because the state does it. They can do that. This is creating that institutionalized mentality in this child to where everyone wants to lock them up. Whether it's in a group home, juvenile detention, jail, they want to lock them up, and it's being perpetuated. Now we're criminals. Let back out on the street with no opportunity. We're felons now. Jobs won't take you. All right? Even though you can come up, there's a way to do it. You don't have the information. You don't have the education to make it happen. You see somebody coming to the neighborhood that you've always seen on TV while you were in jail, and they decide to come to the neighborhood and show love and act like a regular person. But because of your upbringing, you see them as a come up. This is what a hater does. We must examine the hater. We must extinguish the fire inside that hater, because that's all a hater has is fire. And is ready to sometimes take your life to come up, for a quick come up. It doesn't last. You know? So I'm just again taken aback by this story here. Another rapper gone too soon. And I hate to just say rapper, because I'm sure he was more than that to his family. He wasn't just a rapper. He was a provider at this point. He was taking care of his family at this point. And it's unfortunate. Believe it or not, a lot of people do not feel this. A lot of people don't care. A lot of people are just shocked. Like, even if they're not shocked, they're just like, oh, damn, word? Well, just another rapper. But like I said, you know, the sudden loss, we've all experienced it. Once again, rest in peace to my brother Panama P.I. who passed last week. My condolences to his family, his lady, his children. Rest in peace, like I said, to people like Chinks Drugs and Stack Bundles, you know. I mean, many more. And now, Takeoff. Rest in power to the gods. Peace.